Our next guest is Cynthia Boaz. She's an assistant professor of political science at Sonoma State University and an authority on nonviolent direct action. Please welcome Cynthia.
All right, thank you so much. I'm a teacher, so I need my notes. Thank you, I do too. So I don't think I'm going to say anything here right now that all of you don't know, but I'm going to say it anyway. No system of injustice can be sustained without the consent of the people, whether it's explicit or tacit. What this emerging 99% movement is demonstrating above all else is that people have become conscious of that fact and are making the statement publicly that they're going to withdraw their consent for the status quo. Simply acknowledging the lie that the system is fair or just or democratic is a powerful first step in dismantling it. And I want to share with you a quote, one of my favorite quotes about the individual citizen's role in this process of withdrawing consent. It's from Václav Havel. He says, "By breaking the rules of the game, the dissident has shattered the world of appearances, the fundamental pillar of the system. He has upset the power structure. He has broken through the exalted facade of the system. He has shown everyone that it's possible to live within the truth. Living within the lie can only constitute the system if it's universal. And there are no terms whatsoever on which the lie can coexist with living the truth. And therefore, everyone who steps out of line denies it in principle and threatens it in its entirety." So just a little heads up, you're all dissidents. You're exposing the lie, and you're making it that much harder for the status quo, the 1%, to sell it. But no system is threatened simply by protests. So we have to think strategically about our vision for the future, the alternative that has to be offered in exchange for the status quo. While the spread of these protests shows that a vast proportion of the American people have had enough of financial corruption and the use of taxpayers' money to prevent banks from paying the cost of that corruption, I would argue that there are two things that need to happen now to make this larger than a nationwide venting of anger. We have to identify real potential change in the political system. For example, preventing corporate and financial industry control of both Democrats and Republican members of Congress. Cave to industry pressure, and we must organize on behalf of these changes a movement that engages in a number of different nonviolent tactics, such as boycotts, strikes, blockades, and other ways of raising the social, economic, and psychological costs of business as usual for industry and political interests who resist change. And second, and I know this is happening here, we have to devote our time to political organizing at the local level. We have to study how folks like James Lawson from the Civil Rights Movement organized occupations to fight segregation, and to develop substantive goals as well as long-term strategy and tactical plans for increasing the pressure on banks, corporations, and politicians who are content to leave the system as it is. 1% can no longer deny that the 99% now knows where the real power lies. With the people and with your ability to withdraw your consent. And that makes you a threat. My advice is to use that power wisely and strategically. Don't descend into the anger and marginalization of your neighbors and friends along the model of the Tea Party. Take the advice of Martin Luther King, who said that during the Civil Rights era they harnessed anger and released it under discipline for maximum effect. So, harness your anger and be disciplined in how you press your grievances, because in the face of a focused, organized, and disciplined movement with truth on its side, this victory is inevitable. Thank
you, Cynthia. Thank you.